completely changed from
Yes.
what she was.
We'll
It's
talk
like
about.
Sansa. Sansa was also a little bit scared, but I wonder if Jon is going to actually find her faces just like Sansa did, or if Arya's just going to give the faces to Jon or like show him and say, "This is what I am. This is what I did." Like,
Yeah. I don't think she feels remorse for it, though. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the reunions we're most excited to see, because that's going to be some very interesting stuff. All right, we now turn to Bran Stark, the other Stark man. He is now the three-eyed raven, meaning he has the power to see the past, present, and future. No one's really sure what he's capable of or how much he's able to see. That includes him, by the way. In one instance, in Season 7, he told Sansa about the wedding dress she wore during her marriage to Ramsay Bolton, totally freaking her out because it signaled to her that he knows all about the trauma and abuse she had to endure, even though Bran likely chose to reveal such an intimate and gross event simply to show how serious he was about his powers. Like, he knows all. And in the end of Season 7, Bran saw the fact that the Night King, has an undead dragon, Viserion, and has pretty much obliterated the wall. So much for keeping out the undead. And is now heading to Winterfell. And I think really he's going to be invaluable to this group. And what he's going to be able to know, possibly even going back to the days of the last time the White Walkers came down, will be so crucial.
Yeah, but also about Bran. I mean, his as soon as he was getting his powers, and he was learning under the previous three-eyed raven, he learns that he's not going to be able to walk again. Instead, he's going to be able to fly, and I wonder if this means that Bran is going to be able to take control of any of the dragons, specifically the Night King's dragon, and if he's going to be able to, quote-unquote, fly in terms of using the dragon's abilities, and just, like, I wonder if he can, is he going, like, what he's going to do with that power.
That's another huge bolster to the Night King, the Bran is the Night King theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
how he was like so able to control the dragon. But one flaw in that theory though is that the Night King doesn't have one crack in that theory though is that the Night King is not a cripple. He is not crippled. So if he were Bran, he would have to somehow come up with a way to uncripple himself, which I think sort of puts a dent in that theory. But might be later explained in the series.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much we don't know about A, the Night King, and B, Bran's power, so it's going to be a huge, it's going to be a lot of learning, I think, for us especially early on in the season as we see this reunion of sorts. So yeah, and then we downturn to Bran's other nerdy kind of companion, Samwell Tarly. He's been quite a busy student of the Citadel, where he basically is a giant library full of scholarly works. He's done a lot. He's unearthed a cure for Ser Jorah Mormont's case of grayscale. If only he could cure Shireen as well. A disease thought to be terminal and permanent. Determined that Dragonstone has a deposit of a White Walker killing obsidian/dragonglass, and instructed Jon Snow to go mine there. Stumbling on a document detailing that Rhaegar Targaryen had annulled his marriage to Elia Martell and was married to another woman. Got to give Gilly credit for that. And by the end of Season 7, with help from Bran, Sam has put the puzzle together and realized that Rhaegar had married Lyanna Stark, who had a son who is Jon Snow. Meanwhile, Sam hasn't found out about Dany turning his brother and dad into barbecue Charlies. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of conflict for him. But something tells me he won't be too sad about that.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Something on that note. He will learn that his brother and father will be killed, but the question is will he really feel remorse about it? Will he really feel sad? And if he is sad, what will we see him do about it? Is he going to stay passive and idle, or how is he going to respond to this?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because he's, again, one of the people who could possibly end the war with Bran and with some major secrets that they'll be able to find out about the Night King. And I like the lore of the Night King, the White Walkers, all that. It's going to be so interesting. Two fun people to watch is going to be Lady Brienne of Tarth. Might have a crush with Tormund Giantsbane. Tormund Giantsbane definitely has a crush on her. One of the most loyal people to Jon Snow in Westeros. He was last seen during the Night King's assault on the Wall at the end of season 7. We don't know his current status. He presumably survived because he is I do believe, he's in the trailer coming into season 8. All right, so we now turn to Targaryen house, where Daenerys spent much of the seventh season riding high, but by the end of it, the tide to turn against her. She forged the alliance with the Sand Snakes, the Tyrells, and the Greyjoys, but and it seemed like the question wasn't if she'd take the Iron Throne, but when. But after a couple of strategic blunders, which included sending the Unsullied to capture the Rock and leaving Highgarden unguarded, which had the Cersei sacking Highgarden's riches and Jaime poisoning Olenna, all of Daenerys' powerful allies had been captured. That made Daenerys question her advisor, Tyrion's strategic savvy, which we talked about in conflict earlier when we were at Tyrion's part. What is going to be the most important priority for Daenerys coming into season 8, in your opinion?
Well, I think that she's definitely going to need to respond to this, and she's going to need to do something about it in order to resume her ability to have allies and in order to feel defended, because, I mean, Tyrion, above all people, knows Cersei's wickedness and know that she's capable of formulating master evil plans, so he is definitely thinking that she will backstab them 100%. And so it's interesting to see how Tyrion is going to advise Khaleesi, and interesting to see if she's going to listen to him, or if she is going to be too fed up with him to listen to him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's going to be important to see where she can distinguish herself from her father, kind of the burn them all, fire and blood type guy, as opposed to we want to leave this world better than when we found it. Like, how is she going to, like, she's going to be the Misa type person or the Mad King type person? Because she's shown shades of both.
Well, I feel like she's going to be, like, even. Like, she's going to be a little bit of Mad King and a little bit of herself, charming, which is sort of what you need, because we saw Joffrey and his brother and how they ruled, and Joffrey was too cruel, but his brother was too nice. And I feel like a mix of that would make a very strict but compelling king, or queen in the case of Khaleesi. So I really wonder, like, if she's gonna stick up to, like, the I'm not a mad king or not, and what she's gonna do about it.
Yeah, I think she definitely has to, because that's how she can distinguish himself to a lot of skeptical Northerners who did not like the Mad King and really lived under his rule and experienced it way more than Daenerys ever did. All right, yeah, we got just to go quickly through about Jorah Mormont. He's in love with Daenerys. Yara Greyjoy, captured by her uncle Euron, while transporting the Sand Stakes back to Dorne, probably stewing in anger about being captured by her jerk uncle. And yeah, that seems to be about some of the most important characters. Now I'm going to turn to something else. The thing we all love to talk about and think about are the reunions. There's going to be some pretty awkward / interesting reunions that we want to see. Let's go through 10 of them right now. We're going to start with Jaime and Bran. That's going to be awkward. Because if you don't know, back in season 1, Jaime pushed Bran out of a tower when he accidentally walked or climbed by Cersei and Jaime pretty much fucking. And that is going to be incredibly awkward, especially when Bran, which I predict he can do, is going to be like, you pushed me off the tower. Like, in the way that we know Bran can be.
Yeah, well, I wonder about that, because it's, Bran actually, like, when Hodor died, obviously a very sad scene. A lot of people were saddened by that.
Yep.
Bran didn't feel any emotion, even though he was strongly attached to Hodor throughout his entire journey. He didn't really feel anything.
Literally carried by him.
Yeah, he didn't feel any remorse, and it's interesting to see how he's going to respond to Jaime. If he's going to show that same non-remorseful side, or if he's going to show, like, the anger side of Bran. And it's interesting to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, he is, like, I think he literally denounced the name Stark. Like, he doesn't seem to be, like, he is the three-eyed raven. and he like kind of leaving his past life behind, and that's going to be could play. And you're right, it could play a role on how he sees Jamie and his kind of awfulness. Like he wanted to be a warrior before this all happened, so it's going to be probably pretty tough to he probably has come to terms with, but be interesting to see how he reacts seeing that man again. Another interesting thing would be another interesting union here would be Sansa and the Hound. That'll be something that's probably going to happen. As Sansa is obviously the Lady of Winterfell now, and the Hound is, I believe, at the Wall. He's also in the trailer, so we know he's going to be there. Sansa and the Hound have had a pretty complicated history, but I don't know so much about that one. But another interesting one that could be could be a little sweet, but also very informative is Jon and Sam. That could have a lot of potential because Sam's obviously told Jon about the Dragon Glass, and who knows what he'll have in store.
Yeah, I wonder how Jon and Sam are going to reunite, because Sam obviously has some harsh news to drop on Jon about Daenerys and him and their relationship. So I wonder how they're going to be able to handle that. Like I wonder if he's just going to drop it on Jon when Jon comes back, like, hey, dude, you know the girl you're with right now, yeah, she's your aunt. Is he going to actually, like, or, like, what's going to happen? It makes
the question
me
is, does Bran or Jon, or does Bran or Sam tell Jon that? Like, who would soften the blow most?
I feel like it would be better coming from Sam,
I agree.
But I feel like since Bran doesn't have any recollection of really, like, his past, not of his past, but since he doesn't have any, like, recollection of his emotions, and he doesn't really care for emotions, we might just see a very blunt Bran tell Jon the truth behind his relationship.
Yeah, that is very possible. That's very possible. Yeah, but now we turn to another very awkward relationship, is Gendry, who is now, I believe, in Winterfell, and Melisandre, who, I forget where she is. We got to go look back. But I think she's left, but it could be possible that they have reunion. Obviously, Melisandre tried to kill Gendry to sacrifice him to the Lord of Light. So, yeah, she's been always a pretty controversial character. But we don't know where... I don't know. I don't know if that'll even happen, but personally, I am very much on Team Gendry in this relationship.
Yeah, me too. I think that Melisandre was definitely in the wrong. Even though she is the kind-hearted savior that saved Jon, which is, including mine, one of many people's top characters.
Yeah. And a crazy moment as well.
Although she did that, there's definitely some other stuff that like Gendry and her, I wonder how he's going to respond. I wonder if he's going to be, like, forgiving or angry. And if he's angry, what he's going to do. Just like Bran and Jaime. I wonder what's going to happen between them. If there's going to be any action scene, if there are going to be any strong words. I really wonder.
Yeah, that is going to be very, very interesting. But another interesting relationship, another interesting reunion is going to be Arya and Gendry. They had a wonderful little relationship back in season 3. They're going to be back together again. And yeah, that's gonna be very fun but there is kind of a little bit of a conflict because Gendry left to go join the Melisandre, and he wasn't happy about that. Neither was she. But I think it's gonna be good because those two really bonded and got each other through some pretty tough times for them mutually.
Yeah, I wonder how Arya is gonna handle that. I think she's gonna be happy to see him again and happy to turn up with him against Night King, but I really do I don't know what's going to happen between them. They might have some things to say, but I think that ultimately in the end they're definitely going to come together and fight as one. And it's going to be a pretty heartwarming reunion.
Yeah, that'll be very nice to see. That'll be very nice to see. It's kind of uplifting because Gendry really knows how to swing a hammer, and Arya, obviously, we know what she can do with her Faceless Man training and being a pretty badass assassin as well. All right, next we'll see Sansa and Tyrion. We already talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. But here's another one that we all are going to love, Arya and the Hound. They spent quite a long time together.
Oh, man.
Going through, really traveling the country, trying to find the Starks again, trying to sell Arya off until